What is up, rock and metal fans? Okay, so Pink Floyd. Where do I even begin with this band? I mean, there is just so much they were actually able to pack in. I mean, I would even dare say that just like Queen, they use so many infusions of many different musical styles and approaches to songwriting that are just incredible. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. So this was a bit of a tricky one, just like Queen's, where I had to really try and figure out, okay, what do I really do and which ones do I really pick? I mean, I do have my favorites, like obviously that's the name of the series, but which ones? And I was struggling between two records, which I'll just get to in a sec. But I think I finally narrowed it down. So if you're new to Pink Floyd and you really want to know more about the band and where to begin, here's where you start. Number one, The Dark Side of the Moon. Now, this would be most people's obvious choice because you have so many great songs like Us and Them, Money. You have this whole concept of a record, really a session where, the band was able to really come together and, create such a diverse and interesting offering that wasn't just about music. It was more about introspection, connecting the listener to this much higher ethereal realm, if I could just call it that, space rock, whatever it is, but just drawing you in and just helping you stay engaged from start to finish. And that's really what this album is about. And obviously, many of you might recognize the iconic sleeve that's here, the Prism. So definitely something to check out. And this was actually the record I was debating between, which was this one and Wish You Were Here. But I had to go with this one because I think this one is the more iconic of the two. And again, don't shoot me for that. It's just my opinion. I love Wish You Were Here, and hence you can understand my debate. But that's still a great record. But if I was to fast forward this a little bit more, the next record that I would cite for you guys to check out would be this one, The Wall. Now, obviously, there's a movie attached to this, which you guys can see. I did find it a bit esoteric and a bit strange in parts. I mean, a lot of people love it. It has a huge cult following, but the album itself is what I'm drawn to. I think the most famous tracks, like Comfortably Numb, When the Tigers Broke Free, although it's not featured on the album per se, but it is in the movie, and it's definitely a song to check out. Essentially, you have other diverse offerings like Goodbye, Mr. Blue Skies. You have these little interlude pieces of music. But what I think steals the show out here is the three parts, if I could call it that, of the famous song Another Brick in the Wall. Now, most of us have actually heard, the main middle section, which is, We Don't Need No Education. But when you hear that entire piece, all the pieces put together, if you will, along with the happiest days of our lives, which is the, initial part of this actual song, I think that's just something that, just blows your mind. It just blew my mind, the very first time I heard it as a kid. And now I still think it's a track that I listen to. I love listening to the entire set in one go because obviously Floyd mixed it up for a good reason because it matched also well with the overall movie theme idea. But it definitely was something, which, created a very interesting dynamic. And finally, it leads me to this record, The Division Bell. Guys, this is my favorite Pink Floyd record of all time. This is really it. Keep Talking. You essentially have tracks that, like Coming Back to Life, which just occupies space on its own in the entire Pink Floyd, discography canon. But the final track, which is High Hopes, is my all-time favorite Floyd. And I would go so far as to say that the solo that Gilmour plays at the end of High Hopes is, to me, the most emotional and the most epic solo ever laid down to tape. I'm just saying that that's my opinion. That is just my view. You don't have to agree with me. All of you guys can have a different view, but that's what it is, guys. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know more about, your thoughts about all things Pink Floyd. As always, it's great to hear from many of you who've actually written in and, DM me. And I look forward to many more videos in this series. So till then, guys, take care and have fun and rock on.